Hello, boys. Welcome back to the 304 Research Institute. Now, today I'll be talking about why you guys need to stop giving a single shit about what these women think, I got some friends that I was talking to, and man, they put these chicks on such high of a pedestal, it's ridiculous. I'm telling you, these guys treat them all like they're queens, they can't even talk to them, and if you're like that, you gotta cut it out, man, because you're part of the problem boosting these chicks' egos, These chicks just want to have fun, and you guys are robbing yourselves by not talking to them, not approaching them, and not having fun with them, I could never understand that mindset of thinking you're not good enough. Why would you ever think that another guy is better than you or better suited for a woman? That makes no sense to me. I mean, obviously, in some situations, the woman and man could not be capable, Like if the dude's way shorter than the chick, it might not work out. She can go find someone better, but at the same time, all of your ancestors, hundreds and not want to talk to girls and think that other guys are better than you for some reason, That's why I'm making this video. If you're one of those black pill doomers, man, you need to cut that shit out and go touch grass. Like, for real. Because me personally, I fell into that trap, I was watching way too many black pill videos, and my mindset was getting very doom and gloom, dark, but then I started going out more. And you see, the more I went out, the more I had positive experience with chicks. And it just reinforced it in my head that the black pill is wrong. I mean, I'm not going to say it's wrong, because I've had many experiences that have confirmed the black pill. However, the black pill is not as extreme as these people make it out to be, Your face doesn't matter that much. Your height doesn't matter that much. It's got guys down so bad, man. And it's ridiculous because these chicks aren't even that attractive themselves, I was talking about this with a buddy. I think the millennials had prettier women than our generation, I really think my dad's generation, I don't know what generation he is, but those women cared more about the way they look, I said it before, but these chicks don't care. They could be butt ugly, they know they can fix it with makeup, and it's just all fake, It's just fake. And that's why you guys gotta quit giving a shit what these women think, You gotta walk through life like it's a video game. What happens in a video game, you don't give a shit because it's not real. I'm not saying to go out and do some crazy shit. What I'm saying is when it comes to women, this shit does not matter. Half the time, I know how you feel when you see a pretty girl and you can't muster up the courage to go up to her and say something. Because I've been in that situation before, but now that I've matured and I've gained more experience, man, I would never be in that position again. Simply because I know it doesn't matter, If the chick doesn't like me, if she does something crazy, she knows I'll probably never see her again. So what do you have to lose, man? If you died, if you left this earth, it would pretty much be like losing a video game. Nothing you would have done would have mattered. So quit taking shit so serious. Quit taking these women so serious. If you see one you're attracted to, go how you feel, you know. This is something that those dating coaches are not going to tell a lot of y'all. I don't know. Actually, I do know why. It's simply because they don't want you guys to get a lot of action. They want you to be stuck, so that you have to keep buying their courses, keep paying to call them, and you don't got to do none of that. All you got to do is go out more. You know, there's certain places, I've talked about it before, but they are literally mating zones. The women go there to mate, the men go there to mate, and these places are places like the gym, the malls, even stores, man. I see chicks running around stores and then they're not even shopping, they're literally looking for guys. And I know this because when I get around them, they start sticking their ass out, being all goofy, making a scene, trying to get my attention, you know? And what, I'm gonna get a little off topic here, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, but it really aggravates me that all of my white friends are like scared to talk to women. Not all of them, but majority of them are very shy, scared to talk to women, you know, especially in public. Meanwhile, all of these foreign men do not give a single crap, you know. I've seen a bunch of foreign men, some of them are like 50 years old, and they'll be staring at chicks' rags in the gym that are my age, and I'm like 20. So I don't get why my 20-year-old friends are scared to look at them, yet there's 50-year-old men staring straight at them, being obvious as hell, being complete creeps. It doesn't make much sense to me, you know? And I'm trying to explain this to them, that the women like the attention, and it would be better to come from us, young 20-year-olds, than from some 50-year-old. And I think that's true, you know? My generation really needs to hold their balls and talk to these women, you know? That's kind of why I brought this up, the older generation. But they have a lot different views towards women, and I don't know if it's because they're foreigners, but my dad's generation was like this as well, you know? If they seen a girl with a nice rack, they were all looking and saying something about it, and I'm the same way, so I'm not sure why my whole generation let these women gaslight them. Like, they're literally waking up, dressing sexy, doing their makeup, making sure they look good for men. That is not for, it's for themselves, in the sense that there's a hierarchy of status, and it's for their status, you see. But who gives them that status? It's the men. Because the men who like the women, that gives the women status. So she's trying to get as many guys' attention as she can to increase her status amongst the women and the men. You understand now? That is how it works. And that's why they dress sexy. That's why they do their makeup up. That's why they are all so self-conscious, because they care a lot about this social hierarchy that these females constructed. But if you're a man, you should not give a shit about any of that. And that's what I'm trying to explain to y'all, is that shit does not matter for you as a man. Let them deal with that shit, and you just worry about yourself, man. Do what's gonna let you live a good life with no regrets. Anyways, I'm just rambling on at this point. This video's getting kind of long, so I'm gonna end it here. You know, I want to make a positive video for y'all. You know, because some of y'all really just need to get out and go and do more stuff, and you'll see that life isn't that bad, you know. You're gonna be like, why was I sitting inside playing fucking Fortnite, jerking my meat, when there was all this shit to do? You know, you don't have to have money to do stuff. I've been going to parks, I've been going to the gym, it's like $10 a month. I've been just doing whatever. It does not cost that much, you know. Even live near a town, go walk into town, man. You'll see chicks everywhere. So if you like the video, subscribe, comment. Actually, comment what other type of videos you think I should make. Because, like I said in previous videos, I want to start making some tier list or some reactionary type videos, something I can do with the desktop, you know. I just record these commentaries on my phone, then I add the sound to some gameplay that I record on my laptop. But alrighty, boys, it's getting late. I gotta end it here. Have a good one.